Good morning, sweet friends. Sorry, this one's coming up a little late, but I thought we would start off our day going through some of the things that you got in your new packet this weekend that I dropped off at your mailbox. Now, do not worry. If you are still working on stuff from last week, it's fine. You do not have to start this yet. But if you are a go-getter and you have done all of that already and you are ready for the new stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and start talking about it. You can always come back to this later when you're ready for it. Okay? So, I don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, how do I get all this done? It's fine. Okay? I just wanted to make sure I sent enough where you felt like you had some things to do with your child, but I also don't want you to feel like you have to do school all day. So, here we go. In your new packet that you got, there was a letter on the very front. Typically in science, we spend the next 2 weeks talking about water, all the great things about water. So, what we ended up doing was we decided as kindergarten team to put all the water stuff in this one packet. So feel free to spread it out. This letter basically gives you an overview of what we would be doing if we were at school. We will talk as we go a little later about making it rain and all that fun stuff. I might even do a video of me doing it at my house. So let's just start going through some of the language arts stuff, and then we'll come back to the science. Okay? All right, so that was your first letter. After that, Mr. Peters from PE sent a letter, and he has bingo on the back. I am sure most of you are finding lots of creative ways to be active. It's raining outside my window right now, but there are lots of things to do inside. There is also an activity log that you can write down what you're doing and how long you're doing it. So feel free to make this fun, hang it up. Hey, the whole family could do it, right? So that is from Mr. Peters. Now, somehow I missed bringing home the new word family booklet. I will have it tomorrow. I'll go by school today and get it. So this is the one from last week. Your new one is E.T. et. Day 1. If you remember, all you have to do is go through, sound out the words, and read them. That's all you have to do. If you want to find, this is E-N, I know. If you see E-T, you can, hey, like the movie, you can highlight it, you can circle it, you can underline it, just so that way you start seeing it. So the next time you sound it out, you might say et, met, et, pet. I don't know. Anyways, so you get the idea. But that's all you have to do the first day you work on this. Okay? The second day you work on this, read the words on the front, turn the page, and do the next page. That's it. That's all you have to do on day number 2. Do not feel like you need to do all of this in one day. At school, we stretch it out to make sure it sinks into our brains. Okay? So, I will show you the new one tomorrow. Sorry about that. You have another reading log that came home. So this is only to use if you finish filling up the other one. Should you fill this up every week? Depends. It depends on, are you reading a longer book like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? If that is the case, then you might not have as many books. But if you're reading really easy, short books, then you're going to tend to have more. This is front and back. To save paper. So this is just for when you're ready to move on, okay? If you forget a few, it's fine. All right, I did send you another journal for you to work in case your other one is full. You can save this one until you finish with the other one, just so we don't waste paper. But just in case, I know some of you love to write. So this is for you. If you're one that you've been writing 1 page a day, that's fine. There were 10 pages, so you're going to need 10 pages or 10 days to fill it up. So this is for when you're ready to do the next one, right? The same thing goes with this writing packet. It's the same as what you got last time. This is if you are ready to start a new story. Now, if you know at school Many of us worked on the same story for almost 3 weeks. So, take your time, think about your story, stretch it out, make sure it makes sense. When you're ready, which may be now, or it may not be till later this week, or not even this week at all, here is a new plan and new pages so you can start your new fiction story. Okay, we're going to do fiction one more go before we try something new. So, that's what this is for. So, please do not feel like you have to have this done. And for moms and dads that might be watching, just so you know, it is usually a slow process. At school, we do not write pages and pages in one day, usually. We're doing good to get one page with a picture in about a 20-minute time span, if that gives you a rough idea. There are some that can go a lot faster, but this does require a lot of thought on your child's process, or on your child's thought process. There's also a lot of things that have to process in their brain. Write the word, I think, sound it out, try to remember a space, make sure it makes sense. Words cannot share letters due to the space that should be between them. There's just a lot that has to happen in their brain that as grown-ups we don't realize happens every time we write. So be patient, don't push them. You can encourage kindly, but it is a process. So just keep that in mind. All right, so the other thing that's in your packet is this lovely blue book that none of you have ever seen. So this is from our math program. We like to kind of use some of the stuff we already have that we know kids enjoy. However, we thought since this book is in color, we would send it home. There are no guidelines from us as teachers as to how you should best use this at home. If you use it, great. If you don't, it is what it is. So your child, if they want to work in it or you want them to work in it, you can start wherever you want. Okay? There's a table of contents, obviously, inside. It's almost a little bit like Splash Math. Pick some place that you kind of want to start so you're not in the middle of two different ideas, and work on it. You get to keep this at home. So if you finish all of this, yay. If you don't, you will have it for summer. So this is just a good kind of, assistant in the math world of kindergarten. So use it as you would like. That's why we chose to send it this time. For those that are just like, Mom, I want more work. Ta-da! All right. So for today specifically, in your packet that said day 1, there are a few things. So one, there is this packet. Again, it says day 1, not Monday. So this is day 1 of when you finish other stuff. So your job, it says, is to color the pictures with matching beginning letters. So TR. Now, TR is super tricky because it's tur. A lot of us say trr. Just because over the many years, we've just gotten a little lazy in how we say our words. So we typically say train. And your child may say, that's a CH. But it's not, because technically it's a train. Train. Do you hear the TR? Okay, so tree. Bed. Truck. Flag and track. Train, track. Okay, I know we say track, but you need to make sure your child also hears the tur in there too. This is brr, a little bit easier. BR, like broom. Tent, I don't think so. Brush, frog, broccoli, and bread. Okay? So if they have questions, please help them with some of the words and help them say it correctly and really emphasize on that first part of the word. Okay? Then there's a little bit of math up here. You count the circles, write the number, count the triangles, write the number. So this would be 4 plus 1 equals 5. Okay, so you do that for those. And then here we have It's not Snape, unless you're a Hogwarts fan. from Harry Potter. But no. What about snake? Yes. Snail, net, snow, and snowman. Okay, then you have st. Okay, we have a stamp. You might want to show your child what one of those are because they may not know. Stamp, star, stairs, map, tiger, and stool. Okay, circle the ones that start with the right letter. Then on the back, instead of circles and triangles, we have squares. You can't see. Squares and circles. So write the number of squares, write the number of circles, and how many you have all together. At the bottom, your job is to try to write at least one sentence about the boy will fly a kite. Now, the kids know you cannot just copy the sentence here. You have to copy your own. So you might say, the kite will go high, or the boy is having fun, something along those lines. Okay? All right. Again, take your time. It's not a race. Okay? All right. Another one. This is where you'll need your scissors and your glue. Sorry, the page is a little rough here on the copying side. But there are some words at the bottom. We have he, him, out, and with. A lot of your children can read this. Some of them may still need a little structured help along the way. But it says, I hit it blank a bat. So would it be, I hit it he a bat? I hit it him a bat. I hit him, or I hit it out a bat. I hit it with a bat. So you find the one that makes sense, you cut out the word, and you glue it right there in the blank. Okay, so that's what that's all about. If you really want extra work, then on the back, you could ask your child to write a sentence using the word he. He is a boy. Easy enough. Write a sentence using the word him. I saw him at the park. You could write a sentence with out. I want to go out the door. Okay? And then you can write a sentence with with. I want to go with grandma to the store. So that's something that you can do on the back. You don't have to, just another idea. All right. We are going to review this week some editing. Your child has seen these before. So I think you have two in their folders. So obviously your name, your child's job is to mark out where there are errors. This does say it is winter. So when I look at this, I'm thinking, I see good spaces. So that's not a mistake. Oh, we should always start our sentence with a capital letter. And that I is not correct. So they would draw an X and write a capital I. There's something else missing. If you're a kid and you're watching, what is it? Did you say punctuation mark? Or maybe you said a dot at the end. Yes, it is missing a period right here. Then their job, or your job, depending on who's watching, is to rewrite the sentence correctly. Capital I, lowercase t, space. Lowercase I, lowercase s is space. Winter, lowercase letters, period. Then you draw a picture. I know it's not winter, but here we go. Okay, so you can draw a picture of it is winter. All right, so that's that one. You may also find a few other papers in your child's packet, depending on specific spelling skills that they are working on. So like one example, it's a terrible copy. It's like the sandcastles, and it has the pictures in the middle. So if you have this one, then over here on the side, it says, the first one is whale. I know you can't really see that, but that's what it says. So you would come over here and you would write whale. Well, whale is W-H, right? So you write that here. And so you go through and you write all the words here, and then you have to sort them out. It says words that end with a digraph, like fish, F-I-S-H, S-H, C-H, S-H, C-H, T-H, and W-H are all considered digraphs because they're two letters that go together that make a new sound. Okay, so for anyone out there that was confused, those are digraphs. Blends are like BR, where you hear both sounds. Brr, right? B-L, bl, gl, G-L, gl, like globe. Okay? And at the bottom, it says words that begin with a digraph, like sheep. The SH is at the beginning, so it would go down here. Your child might have something that works on silent E at the end. Some of us were there when we got out of school. Your child may also have beginning sound sort pages where you have to cut the pictures and glue them under the sound that they begin with. This is the beauty of the brain. We are all in different places, and so we've tried really hard to kind of stick some things that kind of help your child work on where they are to strengthen those skills before we move to the next one. Okay? All right, now, science. Are you ready? If we were at school for today, actually really today, we would be doing science experiment. We would be playing around with some different small items and a container of water. So it does not have to be a big container of water. And basically what we would be doing your child would get to pick one object, say what it is, pencil, and predict. Will it sink to the bottom, or will it float on the top? Once they predict, then they try it. Okay, so if you have siblings at home, little siblings, older siblings, for your child, or if you have other children at home, you can make this like a family activity. You all predict what will happen. Mom and Dad, you probably know, but let's just play along. And then test it and see what works. And so if it sinks, put it on one side of the container. If it floats, put it on the other side of the container. And once you have done all of your objects, talk about what you notice between the objects that all went to the bottom and that sunk, and all the objects that floated at the top of the water. And what do you notice that might make them the same to help your child start to think about, why does this happen? Why are some things able to float and other things sink? Okay, that's kind of all there is today. So there is some directions about sink or float. We have some suggested materials. However, anything in your house that will fit in that container that you are okay letting it get wet, you can try. So you do not have to stick to the list. This is a really fun experiment, and they will probably want to do it multiple times. If you're okay with that, let them do it. It's not a big deal, okay? So that is sink and float. So technically, we traditionally do this like 2 different days. Like one day we have a set amount of things that every child gets to try. Everybody gets to try a pencil. Everybody gets to try a rock. Everybody gets to try a marble. And the following day, we do where it's all of us together and not a small group, all of us together, and we just have random stuff. And when it's your child's turn, they get to come up, pick whatever they want. Everybody in the group predicts, and then they get to drop it in the water and see what happens. And then they take it out and they sort it. Did it sink? Did it float? Okay, so feel free to do this a few days or pick a few objects for today and a few objects for tomorrow, and maybe, just keep talking about why some sink and why some float, because this is something that I know a lot of kids recognize when it happens, like in the bathtub or in the swimming pool, but I don't know how many of them actually think, why is that? Why is it that some things go to the bottom and some things don't? So there are some questions on here that you can discuss with them. So that is sink and float for our water experiment today. All right, this is a long one. I'm so sorry. For math today, not too much work. Hopefully you all got your dice or have your dice at home. You'll be needing that soon enough. But today, all you're doing is you're coloring by the code. Need that one. So I think this is front and back for you. But you need a red crayon, a yellow crayon, and a blue crayon. And anything that's a number 1 through 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're going to color it red. So here's a suggestion. If your child is more comfortable going through with a pencil or a pen and writing the number, like this is 2, so I could write like a little 2 in the box. This is a rod. This is 10, so I would write 10 over here. This is 4 tally marks. I would write a 4. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. This is number 17. Okay, some of these might be kind of tricky for some friends. 5 and 2, that's 7. This says number 1. So if they want to go through, this is 10 and 10. This is 20. This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, if I counted that right. So that would be 19. So if they want to write the numbers first to make the coloring part easier, that's fine. If they're someone who wants to have all 3 colors and say, oh, that's 2, so that should be red. Let me color that red. Oh, this is 17, so let me find 9 to 14, yellow, not yet. 15 to 20. Oh yeah, 17 falls in there. Color that blue. Okay. I am the type of person where I would probably write the numbers and I would take red and I would look for any numbers 1 through 8 and color all those red and get those out the way before I go to the next number. But everyone works it a little bit differently, so keep that in mind. The way you may do it as a parent may be different than the way your child does it. Yes, I know they may not always do it the easiest way, but it's a process and they have to learn that. So please check this because this is kind of easy to make mistakes. On the back, it's practicing reading tally marks. So all they have to do is read it. So this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, bring, 5. So I would write 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5, 10, 15, 20. Write the answer. Okay? If you want to, if you're like, whoa, they totally don't remember tally marks from school, feel free to get a piece of paper out and have them write 5 tally marks and practice if you want them to. By no means do they have to. I know a lot of people are like, some people want tally marks. Yes, these are tally marks. It's probably been a while since some of you have seen them, but they are very helpful in collecting information. So we've been learning about these at school. So that is your math activity for today. Whew. All right, I know that's a lot. So stretch it out. If some of it gets done and you need to do some more tomorrow, that is fine as well. Sorry that this is kind of a long video and that it's a little bit later coming out. But just get what you need done, what you can get done. I have heard from a lot of families that you've been doing some really cool things at home, which to me is a lot better than paper. But at the same time, we still kind of need to remember what school's all about. So I hope to continue hearing from all of you. And best of luck. Remember, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. It's just me. Do you see the dog on the couch back there? It's just me and him for right now at home. So, yeah, I'm available. So I hope you enjoyed this long rambling video, and I will be reading some stories later today. All right, well, have a great one. We will see you soon. Bye.